This is the Shoemaker Shop 1820. You got your little supplies right there. You got all the shoes and stuff. And over there you got shoes and more supplies.
All right, these gardens you see here are representative of some of the plants that Shakers grew. And they're all medicinal plants, even though here, for instance, we have parsley, which we think of as something we just garnish with or put in soups or whatnot. But it actually, they thought, helped in digestion. Back here, this very tall plant is called castor bean, from which castor oil is extracted. And castor oil was widely used well into the 20th century as a very, very strong purgative. That is, it made you either vomit or the other end, if you're following me, when that was thought to be necessary, or both at once sometimes. So anyway, all these are various medicinal plants, some common, some less so, and this is part of what the Shakers did. They grew these things, they dried them, they packaged them, and they sold them to pharmacists, and these are the medicines of the day.
There's a huge difference between weapons north and south. The Union Army was extremely industrialized. The southern states were very agrarian, they were farming based. So the north had all the factories, machines, and equipment in order to make the weapons. The south did not. Most of the southern weapons were captured from the arsenals or forts that were in the south at the time, like Harper's Ferry, Charleston, all those forts, Pensacola, Florida. They had large bases, military forts, installations with thousands of weapons. Those were captured early in the war. The other way they did it was they were exporting goods, such as cotton, to England and then importing English firearms, English weapons to outfit them. So that's primarily the difference. In the Confederate armies, you would see a mishmash of weapons from shotguns to non-fold weapons. You're going to hear a lot of interesting talk. If you give the firearms demonstration, you'll hear the term musket and rifle. What we use is a rifled musket. The musket, or the rifled musket that I have, is actually as accurate as an M16 is today. I can shoot 800 yards and I can hit you at 800 yards and knock you down. I'm shooting a gun, that is twice the size of an M16 round. So when it hits you, it's going to take whatever it hits with it as it goes through you. It'll hit the bone and it's going to rip your arm. That's why there were so many amputations and everything, because of that. Just because of the weapon. That's why there were so many casualties and the death. Because once you get hit with that round, not only is it taking in all of your outer clothes, but I'm wearing this layer of wool, another layer of wool, a layer of cotton. I haven't showered in a month. So all of that debris in that clothing is now going into that wound. And it's rampant infection, huge infection. Because of that slug, the bullet it takes is huge. I'll show you which one.
800 yards.
Oh my gosh, it's Michelle.
It's huge. That's the bullet I'm shooting. 58 caliber. It's almost the size of my thumb, and it's over an ounce of lead. It expands as it goes through, and that was also very industrialized. This came out just before the Civil War. It was invented in France by a French lieutenant by the last name of Menet. That's why they called it the mini ball. When you hear the term mini ball, you think of a round bullet. Not at all. That's what it is.
Bullets spin when it comes out of the barrel?
It does. It catches the rifling. That's why it's hollow, designed to expand, catch the rifling, and that's what gives it its accuracy, just like you're throwing a football pass. And like I was saying, 800 yards, easy, all day long, no problem. So I've actually fired my gun live, and at 1,000 yards, I hit an 8-foot by 8-foot target. I hit it, 1,000 yards. It's pretty impressive. So that's what we shot. So on the table, there's all kinds of gear and equipment. You guys are more than welcome to look. Before you touch, just ask.
Thank you.
Hey, no hat, because you wear this all day, it gets sweaty. So I have an extra sleeping hat to wear. Bar of soap. This is my everything soap. This is my clothes soap. This is my shaving soap. My body soap. My laundry soap. It does everything. Extra bullets. This is a luxury item. This is coffee. This is a tool to fix my weapon. This is really cool. This is my housewife. You know what a housewife is?
No.
The Civil War soldier was only paid $13 a month. If I needed a new coat, I had to buy it from the government out of my $13 that month. So if it got ripped or torn or wore out and my officer said it was too soon, I gotta pay a new one. I'm only making $13 that month. Okay? So, question?
Is there like you guys can make more money than $13 a month?
Nope.
Just
That's
13.
it. $13 a month. Now I can make more by getting up rank. Like being a corporal, I make 15. Sergeant makes like 17. Officers do really well. They can make up to like $100 a month. But the problem with an officer is he has to buy his food, where the government gives me my food. So there's a difference between being commissioned and non-commissioned. But what a housewife is a sewing kit. I have my needles, I have extra material in here, I have thread, I have buttons. So whatever I can do to preserve my uniform or my clothing and make it last is key, because that affects me and my income. So your housewife becomes really an indispensable item. I have a Bible. During the Civil War, people were extremely religious. Freedom of religion was totally allowed during the Civil War. There were people who were Jewish fighting in the Civil War. There was even a couple of people who were Arab or Hindu in the Civil War. So, you know, you had all religions fighting during the Civil War. Harmonica entertainment.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's cool.
Love it.
Candles. I have modern pills for when I'm not feeling well. I do. There you go.
This is what they shoot.
This is your ditty bag or your rucksack. And inside here I have a couple of extra equipments. I have an extra spare shirt. I have extra socks. And then I have gloves because winter's coming. And then the other thing I can do is I can use this for foraging. And I'm in this nice village right now. All I get to eat is a couple biscuits of hardtack here. Hardtack, some rice, some bacon. That's it. If I'm lucky, I might get a potato, I might get a carrot, but that's it for 3, 4, 5 days. So I have this wonderful little sack. My $13 a month. Hopefully I'm in a spot other than that takes, you know, Union currency, and if I have